All right. Okay, everybody, welcome to Under the Bridge Studio. The project is called Steelworkers Park. This is officially our 5th day of working on the project. What we did yesterday and the day before, when we left on the 3rd day, we glued it. We got a hold of some glue from California, and we were able to put it together. So we had it tied down yesterday. So we did a little bit of work, but mostly it was most of it will get out done today. What you see here, what we're working with, is this new equipment that we picked up in California. It's called Hot Wire Foam Company. But basically, this is one of the most practical tool that they invented for this kind of equipment. This is called the hot knife. What Harry Dietrich is using here, this is Harry Dietrich. We're working together on this project. We've worked together on quite a numerous projects, but this particular one is kind of new to both of us in the material-wise. But like I was saying, Harry's holding here is another tool that we bought. It's called a bow. And basically what this does is kind of like a saw. Whatever you're going to need excess, you cut it off with this. And today, most of all the figures are going to be placed in position. We're not going to be doing any details, so probably Friday, possible Monday. And then you'll be able to see more or less what we're going on right now to that level. But as what you see here now, is most of the figure is officially in. Now, the part that you're seeing right now is the actual steel worker himself. We're still adjusting the helmet. We're giving ourselves plenty of room so that we have, when we get ready to go up there in the detail, the helmet is in there. The head is almost right where we want it. We just have to do a little bit more into positioning. But what you do there is you usually wait until you're almost 3/4 of the way. So you leave a lot of excess because you're going to be shrinking it slowly till you get it in the right position. So that's why you see a lot of bulk right now. Now here is where this arm is going to come around like this, and it's going to be on the first figure's shoulder. Now, he'll be almost a little bit under 5 feet, so he's right, but his hand will be right here in this position right here like this. Now he's also going to, and this figure's right here, so you see, now here you'll see how it looks when it's kind of like raw. You'll notice that the chest is about as wide as my hand is right here. So what generally happens is this same pattern has to stay over here. So just imagine here, when we get to here and cut this pattern here, that will bring out the pants and the clothing of the worker. The first figure will be right here. The little guy will be right here. Then there's going to be a lunch box and some other things that we're going to add on to it. Now here, you start seeing more of the back of the figure. Now what you see here, this is about center right here. Now, his arm right here is going to swing around right here, and we're playing with changing it slightly. In the original one, the figure is up on her shoulder going that way like this. But this one, we're trying to study it to lower a little bit, so it's more on her waist in this general area right here like this. This is, again, part of this coverall. There'll be a few odd things that we're going to place here. We haven't decided what here. This all curves in an angle like this, which was kind of interesting because it was hard to figure this slight little angle right here when we started. Now, as you turn it, you start seeing the two figures, the male figure over here and she's over here. Now you notice we have a lot of excess room. And what we're doing there is when we get ready to shrink it, most of this will shrink right into position. So right now she looks a little bit elongated, but once we get the right position, everything is in there, then we go back with our ruler and we mark the exact size of everything that's coming here. But you always have to give yourself plenty of room to work with. Because if you took off too much right now, and say for instance, you miscalculated, you can't put it back. But when you're working as a sculptor, you got to just anticipate slow moves. So we give ourselves a lot of room, so when we get to that level, we have room to work with. Because it's not like sometimes that happens. Not too often, but. Now here, you start seeing the profile of the mother and child. Now, Her arm is going to be coming down here. This is going to be her elbow. Elbow's going to come down, cradling the baby here. The baby will be right here in this area right here. Now her other arm is going to come around right here like this and cradle like so, holding the child. Now originally in the first one, she was more back and her arm was in a different position. But here, by studying, we figured that it's more, closer family type. We just tied everything together here. Now here is the second figure, the little child, not a child. Now she is one of the smaller of the other one. Now she'll probably be holding some type of figure here. We haven't really decided. It could be a teddy bear. It could be something. She's gonna be a little female. So she might have something here. Now both figures are gonna be holding hands. The two smaller figures, the brother and the sister, they're gonna be holding their hands somewhere about here. So where this joins here, this is going to be them holding hands. Then he'll also have something in his hand, but we just haven't decided what yet, because this is his finger here. Now, when you turn it back to the way it was, you can see kind of how we're figuring. Again, steel worker, the mother. Now, another good point to make about the steel worker. Underneath the helmet is where her head is actually going to start. So she's actually right here. And we did that so that we can get a closer a tightness on the figure. So she's kind of have not even a slight lean into him. So that's we wanted that feeling of closeness. That's why she's right underneath and the helmet going down slightly. So that's where we're at as of right now. What you'll probably see tomorrow or whenever we get together Friday, you'll be able to see more of the actual thing. What you're seeing here is step by step as we go along.